Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Game Room. Good morning, EA 4492. We got a bunch of stuff to work on today. A bunch of random stuff. Basically, just wrapping changes up for the final release. Good morning, Sid. Uh, Probably the most lengthy thing I have to work on is language fixes for the German translation. Um, so mostly visual GUI fixes there. So a lot of Windows Forms type work. Hopefully it'll go relatively quickly though, because that's not really a whole lot of fun. Good morning, K Money. How's the stream, guys? I assume everything's going fine. I asked because I had some minor internet slowness over here. It says my stream configuration quality is excellent, so good enough, probably. All right, let's pray. Oh, Lord, be with us today as we wrap up this release. Help me to recognize all the issues and uh, foresee all the possible problems and get everything fixed so that when we put out the final release, everything is as smooth as possible, Lord. Uh, Thank you for being there with us and encouraging me and everything else. In your name I pray. Amen. Okay, so good deal. Everything's fine. Great. Uh, so I realized on Monday I was using the wrong microphone. I was streaming with my camera, my webcam microphone. I had this thing on my head the whole time, but I wasn't even using it. I was streaming with the microphone on the camera, which is fine, except for the fact that hey Quad, except for the fact that you could probably hear my family and everything else in the background. That's okay. I didn't even check. I'm not sure. Anyways, and OBS is what I use to stream, and I made a significant discovery this morning. Sometimes when I open OBS, it won't find my camera, and sometimes when I open OBS, it won't be able to do my screen, to pick up my screen, and so different things pop up, and I end up having to open the dumb thing like 25 times. Finally figured out that if I make sure my GPU is working, so for example, if I open Big Box that uses the GPU, when I start up OBS, I don't have those problems. I don't know why, but whatever. So at least now I have a solution for that. But usually I spend 10 minutes just trying to get OBS open and working properly. So, anyways, so I want to start basically this morning with um, the language stuff. If we, whenever we add a new language, basically what happens is ultimately the text all changes, and when the text changes, the biggest trick is that sometimes you have to resize all the form elements, which is kind of a little bit annoying. It's not any. Not if nobody cares about your family. Thank you, Quad. Thank you very much. I know. I know. I know. I know. I'm too much of a perfectionist. All right. If we go, there's one thing I want to do here. I need to update, pull down German language translation update from OPAC and copy those files in before I go tweaking them because I can't remember, but I think he actually put out an update after I updated the translation. So I'm grabbing that here quick. Okay. Come on, come on, come on. Well, I probably shouldn't pull this up while I'm copying these files, actually. How's everybody doing today? How was everybody's 4th? Anybody in the US? We just did our personal fireworks stuff last night because we got home too late on the 4th. By personal fireworks, I mean the, you know, little tiny fun little fireworks that are legal. Unfortunately, we haven't done any big ones. Can't afford it. They're too expensive. They're expensive enough as is. All right, there it is. Okay. I need star.de-de.resourcex. Cut to source, LaunchBox, source, LaunchBox, forms, paste, replace, strings, properties. All right, that should do it. One thing I want to check in forms here, if I show all files, yeah, I've got some extra stuff in here I need to delete. Those 2 files. All right, now we can actually get busy here. I'm going to build and make sure nothing broke. Hey, Chaos. Uh, Probably not. I hate to say no, but we have a lot of viewers on here wanting to watch LaunchBox development, so I probably can't help you fix um, an issue on your personal website. Quad, you see the post about on Rocket Launcher forums about the plugin. I did see one post on the Rocket Launcher forums. I'm not sure what post you're referring to. The one about the platforms not showing up. Welcome, Chaos, by the way. Yeah, I saw that, and actually, that's on my list here. Platform tags not saving immediately. I just added that today, so I plan to work on that today. Basically, what's happening is that we're auto-populating them, but we're not always saving them when we auto-populate them. So that should be an easy fix, I think. I just have to, but I have to look at that yet. Um, it's I think anytime you save after the platforms are auto-populated, it should fix itself, but I haven't really experimented with it. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with it yet, but I think it's just the fact that it's not saving it after it's auto-populating it. So anyways, what we need to do here, translating LaunchBox, I have this thread. Um, of course, I need to go through the uh, and fix all these various issues. I'm sure there's more issues than what he's found and listed here, though, so I need to go through and basically all the forums and check on the fields. We're going to start with the About form. So I can change the language on this form to German. Germany. And you'll notice that some stuff gets cut off. And that's kind of what we need to fix. Also, there's some translation issues I noticed in this box for whatever reason. this email address isn't correct. And this URL got messed up for some reason. And then stuff like resizing these boxes and repositioning them. I'm going to make this a little bigger, and now it fits. Okay, just check these other tabs. I don't think there's anything to worry about in the other tabs. So then we can call this form done, and we just had to go through and check all the forms to make sure nothing's overlapping. Oh, there's one more thing I forgot about. This is a pet peeve of mine, having LaunchBox not capitalized properly. Okay, so change the language on this guy. No, come on. Irritating. German. Come on, hurry up. Hey, Isolak. Not bad, Camzone. Welcome. This is really taking a while. This is one of the biggest forums we have, but I don't know why it's taking so long. Hopefully it doesn't crash my Visual Studio. We'll see. Some of this I might want to do off hours. So we'll see how far we get, and if I'm spending too much time doing this language stuff, I'll move on. Unfortunately, when we add a new language, there's still quite a bit of work to be done to make sure everything is up to par. So I might be able to help you, Camzone. I might not though, because we're working on LaunchBox stuff. So we got a lot of people who are interested in watching LaunchBox development. So I probably can't help you with your own technical stuff. Yeah, forget this. This isn't working. Oops. Okay, add edit form. Come on, Visual Studio, you can do it. So the language, we're going to set this to German, Germany. It's faster for me to type it. Dang. Ah, so there's an issue. Basically, what this means is there's an issue with the translation resource X file. Filter, yeah, so the filter string property on the translation resource X file. So if I go into, first off, let me delete that. We don't need that. The German translation resource X file, it's filter string. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Camzone. I didn't know you wanted help with LaunchBox. Uh, use my emulators from Project 64 alone, or do I need to use something else to get my N64 games to work on my PC? Project 64 should work fine. That's a good approach for Nintendo 64 emulation. My favorite my favorite approach right now is RetroArch with the Mednafen um, core, but Project 64 does work perfectly fine for most games. Filter string. Question is what I'm thinking I shouldn't subject you guys to this level of boring. So I think I'm going to move on from this stuff here pretty quick and go do some of the other stuff. I'm not sure how I'm going to find this. It's going to be a pain in the butt. Yeah, probably not a good idea to do this on the live stream. So we'll come back to that. That's my least favorite thing to do, and so I was going to force myself to get it done, but I think we've got more interesting things to do in the live stream, so we'll probably do something else here. I think I'll start. Maybe we can fix this platform tags issue. Um, these two items would be really nice to get implemented. Basically, allowing random game videos for the background videos on the platforms in Big Box. And the other one would be to add an option to show the game videos in the background, basically for any of the views in the games and the game stuff, which would that would be fun. So that's one thing. Can I get all the other games and systems from RetroArch? Uh, no, you can't. You can't do everything with RetroArch, but you can do a lot of things with RetroArch. So that's a good. It's a good approach for a lot of systems. Although RetroArch can be finicky, it can be a royal pain to get up and running. Although we have good tutorials on YouTube for that stuff. All right. Let's start though. Let's see if we can fix this platform tags issue with the rocket launcher stuff. So when we generate data manager, when I load up my platforms, or really, I mean, yeah, let's figure this out. So load. This is where we populate all our data from the data tables, and then we add all our platform folders. Well, it's really after an import process is where the main issue is coming from, but yeah, I'm trying to think through this. As we add our platforms, you know what? I didn't even confirm what version that what's his name was using in that thread. I guess I should pull up that thread, huh? Um, what is it? Let's pull up the link elsewhere. or not. I can't find that link. Anybody anybody got a link to that? Sid, do you have a link to that rocket launcher forum post by chance? Hey, Rain Stumble. There it is. I found it. Thanks, DJ. Sorry, I. Okay. So Terranius got back. Would be appreciated. What's weird is the platform tags does not show up in the XML when I shut LaunchBox down and started again. It seems to have to modify something to trigger a write to the XML. All the games and other info is written just fine after an import. It's just that tag. But yeah, a save when the import is finished would probably do it. Quick question, Terranius. What version are you, of LaunchBox are you running? Are you running the latest beta or the official 6.2 release? Because yes, that matters. Because I did fix some stuff already. So I don't want to, if he's running the 6.2 release, I don't want to bother wasting my time on it. Because it's probably already fixed. Thanks, Game Room. All right. So we'll come back to that. We have an issue with the VLC engine where background videos aren't filling the screen. And I'm not sure if that's something I'm going to be able to fix, but I'll demonstrate that here real quick. Confirm that that's still happening. So right now you'll notice we got the background videos filling the screen just fine with Windows Media Player. But if I go and switch up my engine, and we go down to options, options, general, video playback engine, and we change that to VLC, then it doesn't fill the screen. See that? It doesn't stretch the videos for whatever reason. So that's something I need to resolve for the VLC engine somehow or other. So I'm going to take a look at that and see if there's something I can do about that. That'll be quick, and I might have to give up on it if it's not something that... the last I checked, basically the Meta VLC library wasn't supporting it properly. So if we can fix it in Meta VLC, that's great. If not, then we're kind of out of luck. But when in my well, it's in the, let's go to views, my image video view here. Thanks, Isolac. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, that'd be better at least. Honestly, it might be difficult to even center it, to be completely honest. Uh, yeah, K Money. I don't really need to do a test on that. I think you're right. I'm pretty sure that that's the case. Actually, I read that. I haven't responded yet, but I read that in the beta testing thread, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you're probably right." So that's definitely something we can look at as far as the video is not starting back up if you don't have the loading game message enabled. Sure. Um, so here we are. The basic issue here is whatever the VLC player stretch setting isn't being recognized. It's not obeying it for whatever reason, and I'm not sure why that is. There might be another way to do it though, come to think of it. But I'm going to go to the definition of that property over here in the VLC player class. And yeah, it's specified here. Is it even used is the question. VLC player helper. Apparently it is. It obeys none and fill. Oh, stretch direction. No kidding. Hey, guys, look at this. Where's this from? This might answer it. We might be able to fix it right here and now. Bingo. Property on VLC player called stretch direction. Well, that's awesome. It's always nice when you find an easy fix. Okay, so if here we go, if value, that means if we're stretching, this.vlc player.stretch direction equals both. If that fixes it, I'm going to be so happy, because I was worried about this one. Hey, OPAC. So I started moving on from fixing all the language issues because it's just boring. It's not any fun for people to watch that. So I'll probably have to get back to that after the stream today. Okay, there we go. Let's give it a run and let's hope this works. Oh, that's interesting. What's going on there? No, come on. Ah, that figures. Well, let's put a breakpoint here and check to make sure that code is actually running. Or better yet, let's make sure that's not the issue. Let's go this.vlc player.stretch direction equals both, and this.vlc player.stretch equals fill. And I think that's what it was doing before. Let's confirm that. None, fill, uses the stretch direction stuff. Sure. Uniform. Uniform to fill. It's definitely got code in here for this. It should be working. Who knows? Let's try this first. Yeah, K-Money, I know I have some tiny little glitches like that with the VLC engine that I still need to get back to, unfortunately. So that's a good point. I should add that to my list. Thank you, Sai. Appreciate that. Take it easy. Of course. So yeah, the dumb VLC library's busted. So I'm going to have to figure out how to fix that if I'm going to fix it for VLC. Unless it's some crazy thing where I have to set them in the opposite order. Who knows? Try it one last time, but I don't have any faith this is going to work. Take it easy, Sai. That's weird that it doesn't show up when you first load it up, too. Yep, doesn't work. Okay, what's going on here? Just real quick, I'm going to see if I can find something online. Meta VLC stretch. Ah, still not working though for me. So they implemented it. Why is it not working for me? Huh. Yeah, that's going to be the only relevant result. Just to make sure, I want to make sure of something here. VLC player dot background equals new solid color brush color dot red, or not. Fine. From ARGB 255 255 00. I want to make sure the actual VLC player is taking up the entire space, because that could be the problem. Definitely is. So it's just not stretching the video for whatever stupid reason. I guess we should walk through that code. Let's get rid of this, as we know that's working. I'm going to go in, and we'll go here. Actually, let's go here. Pull this up. Get video position X. What's this doing here? Get video position Y. But, okay. But then how is it? Is this calculating the height? It is. Sort of. I guess let's put a breakpoint here first. Oh, this is coming from on mouse move. What on earth? That's strange. There's only one reference to that. That's a little weird. That might not even be called for all I know. I guess we'll see if it is. Game room. I have not, but I can try that. Doesn't make sense why that would fix it, but I know they did mention stretch in that article. I mean center. Now you can set horizontal content alignment and vertical content alignment to center to get it. I think that was only for uniform to fill, but sure, I can try that. K-Money wondering if the Windows Media Player option on LaunchBox uses whatever's Windows Media Player is installed on your PC, or does it use its own plugin that comes with LaunchBox like VLC does? It does use the operating system installed Windows Media Player, and in fact, if you don't have Windows Media Player installed, which is possible in Windows 10, it won't work. So it does use the built-in Windows Media Player installed into the system. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to start it up, attach to the process, see if this is even ever called. My debugger's having issues here. Oh, there it is. No, it's okay. So that's being called. That's good. However, that's kind of what I figured. What the heck? This get video position X is never being called. So yeah, this code isn't even being run. Doesn't make any sense to me. Unloaded. I see. So it uses an image to do this. I have a feeling there's a VLC setting I need to set somehow or other. Here, another test. I'm curious. Image dot background. No, wait. What is image? Thread separated image. Yeah, it's not going to let me easily change the background color on the image. But I can set horizontal content alignment. So it already does that here. And horizontal content alignment is on the control itself. Sure. So in theory, we can test that by just saying this.vlcplayer.horizontal content alignment equals center. This.vlcplayer.vertical content alignment equals center. You can try that. Hey, David. Yeah, see, it didn't even center it. Goodness. Where were you seeing top left, game room? Okay, well that's there. And then go back to this. So here's where it was unloaded. This is where it was setting the horizontal content alignment and vertical content alignment, and then the stretch and the stretch direction. And it sets it on the image, and the image is where it supposedly uh, does all the video painting. But I'm guessing what's happening is that the video is that the VLC itself isn't working to fill it. But why that would be, I'm not sure. It could be because of the options. We set the options here for VLC itself. VLC stretch to fit. Not sure if that's going to help me out or not. See, it does this whole aspect ratio thing. Maybe we need to set the aspect ratio. But we don't know what the aspect ratio of the monitor is easily. As I know, if you start VLC yourself, yeah, we've had a lot of trouble with this stuff for sure. Um, and it's not VLC's fault. It's just that finding a perfect solution to integrate with WPF is been difficult. So it's really kind of the issue. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm curious if this is certainly not something we can do permanently, but who knows? That might do it. I'm curious. We'll see. Hey, phenomenon, Phanto. I want to say phenomenon. All right. Yeah. VLC options. That doesn't fly apparently for VLC options. I don't know why. Unless there's a. Hey, look at that. Okay. My monitor isn't 16 by 9 though. My monitor is 16 by 10. But and obviously we can't really do that. Oh, I forgot to remove my setting. Darn it. Yeah. Look at that. But of course, it doesn't fill the whole screen simply because it's 16 by 10, not 16 by 9. But that's sort of a solution. I guess the next thing, but that's like, uh, that sucks because in order to do that properly, we have to, not only we have to detect the aspect ratio of the monitor itself and all kinds of crap. So that's a pain in the butt. Um, First thing I'm going to check though is to see if I can put this down here. I could do that, iselect, yeah. Oh, hey, Rain Stumble. I don't know if I can or not. I think so. If I do it in Photoshop, I think if I load up Adobe Illustrator files, it will let me. Yeah, that's fine. They should be fine. I can load them up in Photoshop and resize them. Because basically, I think what happens, you can load them in AI files in Photoshop, and it will ask you the resolution that you want. So yeah, that would be great, Rain Stumble. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so that does work. And then in theory, when I load a video up in something that's 4 by 3, when I load a game video up, it's correct. Good. Okay. So there's that. And then on, I would imagine most people's arcade cabinets at least and TVs are going to be 16 by 9 and not 16 by 10 like my monitor. So that's usually going to work properly. Um, if we can, you know, I'm curious though. It should be relatively easy to quickly get the dimensions. I want to take a look at how this is built, how this is working. Yeah, we have an enum here, which is really a dumb way to do aspect ratio. Why would you use an enum for that? It should be just a decimal value. But whatever. Let's figure out how it's actually being implemented then, I guess. Is if I add another setting, I guess it's going to be in here. Get scale transform. Yeah. It calculates the size. You see how these numbers here are hard coded? If they had done this properly with a decimal value, then you could just tweak it easy and it would go all the way through. Now, because they've done it this way, it's going to be a pain to be able to do that. Uh, so I don't know. I think what I'm going to end up doing here is we're going to go and go down here, aspect ratio. Going to check, see if we can get the dimensions of the screen. I know there's a way to do that. I'm doing that elsewhere. Where am I doing that? In my view models. Where is it? The child view model base. No, I'm not doing it in here. Where am I doing that? Hmm. Let's do a search. That's not what I want. App.screenHeight. That's simple. Here it is. System parameters.full primary screen height. The thing is, that's the primary screen. That's an issue that I've got to solve somehow or other. Public static double. This way we can fix this later. Screen width get. Whoops. If app.screenWidth.has value, we need to add that. Double screen height, screen width. Return app.screenWidth.value. App.screenWidth equals system parameters dot full primary screen width. Return app.screenWidth.value. This is something I'm going to have to fix when I allow people to choose the screen they want. So when we add those settings, we'll be able to specify the screen width and screen height for the particular screen that it's actually on. So, but we'll fix that when we add those options. So now we're going to go back. Man, for some reason this is driving me nuts. There we go. We don't want that. We don't want that. It's this image video view. So we can detect if it's 16 by 9 or 16 by 10. We're going to say if app.screenWidth divided by app.screenHeight. So the screen width, for example, 1920 divided by 1080. Let's use calculator here real quick. 1920 divided by 1080 is 1.777. And 1920 divided by 1200 is 1.6. So, and then if we go 640 divided by 480, it's 1.3. So if it's greater than 1.3, well, what is, for example, oops. That's also 1.33. There's another one in there. There's 1280 by 1024. I think that's different. Or is it 1024 by 768? I can't remember. 1280 divided by 1024 is 1.25. Okay, so basically we need to check to make sure it's over 1.4. That should work just fine. So if app.screenWidth divided by app.screenHeight is greater than 1.4, then we do it. And in theory, that should just not do this. It should do it for everything other than a 4x3 screen. The only thing I'm concerned with is, oh, these are doubles. Okay, so we're good. That should do it. I'm going to call that done. Yeah, EA, that should make it so we don't have to add an option. It'll just automatically detect whether it's a 4x3 screen. All right, what do we got going on? Well, we got a lot of people talking here. Yeah, this should EA. This should handle the ultra wide aspect ratio as well. I think. I hope. But nobody's gonna. I don't know if anybody's gonna be doing that in big box or on a arcade cabinet. Yeah, there are lots of people that use 4x3 on an arcade cabinet because it does work better with arcade games, of course, and old NES, console games are all 4x3 because of the 4x3 TVs. Okay, let's make sure this works, and I'm gonna call it a still a disappointing but better than nothing fix, because otherwise I'd be spending days trying to fix that issue, tweaking their plugin. We do have the issue where in VLC the first video you load up in the background doesn't work, which is frustrating. I'm trying to think how on earth I would solve that one. I think that's happening because it's not visible when it's loaded up. I think is ultimately what's happening. So that is best way to fix that. Basically, we have to delay the loading of the first video if it's VLC. And I'm not sure how on earth I'm going to do that without doing horrible hacks. Ah, sure. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why we need the dual screen support. Um, Not only dual screen support, but obviously select which display you're going to use for what stuff, because obviously right now we don't have any support for custom marquee graphics or anything like that. So another thing that is on my plate. Before I do that, though, I want to add LED blinky support, stuff like that. So that should be coming up here soon. I need an excuse to get a. I want to get a really pretty. Um, what are they called? Desktop cabinet, arcade cab with LED blinky stuff going on for testing. Of course, it's for testing purposes. Of course. All right, so if we go into this is filters view models, the platform wheel background video filters view. And we only change one thing in this one. This when it populates a particular game. If we go to the base, populate we actually set the video right now in this selection change timer elapsed. We set the image video view model, and the trick there is to delay it until it's actually loaded. Bar top, thank you, DOS. Yeah. Yeah, I mean I could load the same game twice, but one of the issues that we're dealing with that would be a problem if I did that is the video plays and you can hear the audio in the background. It just doesn't show up. So we need to delay it. delay the video loading up the first time is ultimately what we need to do, which is stupid annoying. Um, I think I'm going to set a private bool first, or just second load, I guess. And then what we can do, it doesn't matter. This is the only case. Right here is the only case that matters. And so what we can do is if not second load, then second load equals true. So we'll only do this the first time. And what I can do here is do a new thread. Really, this is poor though, as far as like delaying. I mean, it'll work. What do I do here? I think I do that. Do that. And I'm going to do a really cheap thread.sleep for 5 seconds. And then ultimately we have to run it on the GUI thread. This is horrible code. Just horrible code. But I don't know how to do this any better way, really. No, 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 no. I'm going to copy this and paste it there. So basically, this just it waits 5 seconds. Ultimately, if it's the first time and you're using VLC only, we'll see what happens. Yeah, EA. I need to watch some more videos. I'm not. Unfortunately, my issue is I'm not crafty. I'm not good with that stuff. And ultimately, I got a game cabinet from an arcade cabinet from um, Rec Room Masters, and I like it. It's kind of nice, but I'm so horrible with my hands that I'm not pleased with how it turned out because I suck at building things. so, and so I didn't do as good a job as I wanted to when I put the thing together. I mean, it was as easy as possible, but I want to actually have somebody build it for me. And so I'm looking at Monster Arcades right now, but the guy hasn't gotten back to me. I emailed him and he hasn't gotten back to me yet at Monster Arcades. So not sure if anybody's got any experience with them, but I've been most impressed with their setups. Well, that didn't seem to work. It didn't wait 5 seconds. Well, let's make sure, 100% sure that it's. Thanks, K Money. Yeah, for sure. Working with my hands is not my strength. Obviously, uh, software is. Okay, so it doesn't seem like that code is even being run for some reason. Why is that? I guess I'll put in a breakpoint. Did I build it? I did I not? Okay, so let's there it is. Obviously that's working. What on earth? Okay, now I'm weirded out. Watch it load. Syphilis, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm so lazy. I don't stand up. I have a stool on my arcade cabinet. Well, yeah, that's why I like the concept of a bar top because you can sit down and be lazy. Yeah, it's basically a bar stool. Maybe this isn't. I don't know. I don't know. Come on. What's the problem? Yeah, for sure. Me too. I have uh I have something I got from Amazon for fairly cheap. They haven't really stood the test of time very well, but they were cheap and they have a little tiny back on the stool. I don't remember what it was though. You have a sit-down cabinet. Ah, I was tempted by that, but they just look so awkward to me. Sure. The one thing with TVs, I hate gaming from a distance away from the TV. I got to be fairly close to the TV, and that's always a challenge with home theaters. So I really don't understand what the problem is here. Obviously, this isn't a good fix, but why is it not sleeping? Why is it not delaying? That's what I really don't get. I'm gonna put a breakpoint there. Try this again. I have to rebuild it, don't I? Bah humbug. Yes, I do. Why am I running? Hmm. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I really have no crafting skills at all, and I thought, I mean, the Rec Room Masters thing is a good deal, and it works. It does work well, but you still need design and crafting skills in order to make it pop. And mine is basically just black. I do have the big box logo on it, but I want somebody to design me a better looking cabinet than what I've got, basically. Okay. Is it good? Yeah, it waited 10 seconds and then did it, but something else is setting it, apparently. I wonder, I don't know. Uh, Grandpa, well, I didn't really. I mean, I got artwork ordered from Rec Room Masters directly for the marquee up top. I didn't do anything on the side panels myself. But it honestly, I wasn't that pleased because it didn't look that great when I got it. It looks fine, but the colors. I used black as the background, and apparently that's a horrible idea because it looks really bad. So I didn't have a good experience with that either. All right, bah. So something is setting it earlier, ultimately. I'm not sure what that would be. Current document, image, video. Ah, goodness. This is being overridden though, so that shouldn't be running. On escape. Dang, I don't understand what's going on here. It definitely is annoying to have to support both of these engines, having to support both Windows Media Player and VLC. I wish I could just support Windows Media Player because everything works. It's more seamless. But unfortunately, Windows Media Player doesn't work for everybody. So, yeah, that's another issue, of course. I know, I mean I could design my own stuff, but I'm not sure I would be happy with it if I did. Pre-made like a piece of furniture. Yeah, that's basically what you get ultimately with Rec Room Masters EA, but it's not exactly high quality stuff. I mean, it's just basically a bunch of particle board pieces, so it's not even worthy of being called furniture. It's also extremely expensive, of course. I don't know what on earth is going on here, but this is getting pretty frustrating. If we go, no, I don't want that. I want a definition. I have no idea. But what I could do, I suppose, is filters view model base image video view model. We take a look at set. We put a breakpoint on set here. Whenever that's being set, then we can look at the stack trace to figure out what the heck is going on. Let's build it to be safe. Hmm. You know what? It's not being set. I wonder if it's on activate that the problem is. I'm guessing. That's a good point. So activate. Unactivated. Activate. That's not being used there. Golly. I don't get it. Because if I just start it up, it's obviously playing. But it doesn't happen if it's not focused. I wish I had any faith in myself whatsoever to deal with anything like that. MDF, construction. Platform filters. View model base. Ah, nothing. We're not doing anything. No! I don't understand this. This is really irritating. This has not been a good day so far, guys. It has not been a good day at all. I'm going to override that. See if that makes any difference. If not, then unactivated is not the problem. Another thing I'm wondering. Hmm. Do I even have a start-stop video? I thought I did. Apparently not. There's a stop video. I don't know. I don't get it. It's just baffling. Doesn't make any sense to me. If I completely get rid of this, comment all this stuff out. Look at that. Is it just completely ignoring my thread.sleep? I don't understand. That is so strange. Oh, you know what it is? I get it. It must be calling this twice. Duh. That's got to be what's going on. This is probably being called twice somehow or other, and so I get it. All right, fine. Private thread. Um, First video thread. Golly. We're going to get rid of that. So basically, what we can do is if first video thread equals null, then it's this dot first video thread equals, we're going to uncomment that and move it up here. This dot first video thread dot start. Okay. Else if this dot first video thread dot is alive, then if it's not alive, we want to do the original stuff. Again, horrible code. Man, that was a pain in the butt to figure out. I forgot about that. Oh my goodness. You're kidding. Same crap. Man, I'm done trying to deal with this. I don't get it. It's really driving me nuts. There's got to be a better way to do this. If I think back and try and do it properly, we would wait to start the video until everything's loaded and displaying. This is called from Alright, so basically this is called when you first retrieve the selected filter. What happens? Actually, let's go back here and get rid of this code. I think this is the reason why it's running twice. I suppose we'll see. No. Well, it's still. Let's take a look at stack trace. Okay. We look at the call stack. It's coming from the timer. Okay, so we're calling. That makes sense. Dot start. No. Selection. Change timer dot start. When we set the selected filter, that's it. At least in this file. Just out of curiosity, obviously this is going to break everything, but I want to see if it's being. Oh crap. See if it's being called anywhere else. Savham. What do you mean? What is this running on? Yeah, it's still happening. So that's probably being overridden. Model base, text filters, view model. Here we go. Selected item. This is, yeah. That's probably what's doing it. Yep. So now nothing's going to load. So at least we found where it's actually triggering that. So I'm thinking. What we could do just out of curiosity, what happens if I do this? Set the interval to 5,000 on the timer. Yep, that does it. So obviously, so what we can do, I suppose, is default it to 5,000 in the constructor for that particular view, and then change it to 600 after it gets fired the first time. So if we go into our wheel background video filters view model, we can, I need a constructor. And then we need to set that to 5,000. And then the first time it's elapsed, we set it back to 600. And I'm willing to bet that will solve it. There was one other thing we did though, and that was we commented this out, and I'm not sure what the effect what kind of effect that will have on the other views. So instead of doing that there, we should override that. I copy this. Wait, we're not even using that. Come to think of it. So that shouldn't matter. Never mind. We're not using that, of course. We got rid of that stuff. Still not a pretty solution, but I think this is actually going to work at least. So when you first load up Big Box with the VLC engine, it's going to take, we might want to adjust it. Whoa, we're doing something wrong here. I think that might be triggering it to run again. The other thing is, though, we should only be doing this if it's VLC. Big box settings dot video playback engine equals VLC. Still, that's so weird. Man, I can't win. So, why does it keep raising it when I do that? Still doing it.
I think the problem is doing this stuff from the selection change timer, but wow, really? Oh, of course, because it's happening. Oh man. Okay, so nah, this is insane. I can't do it until after it's been run. I mean, after the thing is, man, stupid. I don't get why it keeps running it. Changing the interval. There it goes, over and over again. This timer isn't behaving. I feel like an idiot today, guys. This is insane. Yeah, rain stumble, I know. I'm going to adjust that, but we got to get it working first. Setting an interval. This is a system timer's timer. I just don't get it. That's so strange. I don't don't know. I don't think that's going to work either, but doesn't matter. Of course, that's basically what that's doing is it's making it run in the normal time frame, and it's not waiting at that point at all. Wow, we're gonna get through this entire live stream, and I'm gonna have accomplished nothing at all. Welcome, Jezzo. This is probably the worst experience I've ever had coding in a live stream, I think. But welcome anyways. All right. I'm about ready to move on from this. This is ridiculous. The timer is resetting itself when I set the interval, and there's nothing I can do to stop it from doing so. It's just absurd. I don't understand. I'm just curious. Of course, that works. It only takes it's just the extra few hundred milliseconds. But of course, that's going to vary system to system. Depending on your system, if your system isn't fast enough, it's going to have the same stupid problem. This is a bad solution, anyways. So it's like, I forget it. Just forget it. I'll come back to this later. I need a better solution. The main issue, really the ultimate issue, is that the VLC engine just doesn't work if the window isn't loaded up yet, which is irritating. But I'm officially giving up on this to come up with a better solution later because this is just absurd. I'm tired of screwing with it. So we're back to what we had. As we get down to the nitty gritty, the last stuff, trying to fix all the bugs before the official release, sometimes we run into stuff that's just a pain in the rear, and I end up just spinning my wheels, doing all this crap, trying to fix the final issues. And the VLC engine, man, yeah, you're right. You guys are right. It's been a nightmare trying to get all this VLC crap to work, and it's frustrating because I don't even use the VLC engine in my setups, and most people don't either. But there's a few people who the Windows Media Player engine won't work for. So it's frustrating. At least we got this particular issue uh, mostly solved. That's good. I'm going to call that solved as best I can for now. We have the issue of the platform tags not saving. I wonder if Terranius got back to us on that. No, apparently not. All right, well, we're waiting on that one. We were going to add some new options for random game videos for the background videos. That might be kind of fun, and that should be relatively simple to get done. It's not going to be a bug that I'm trying to run all over the place. David, yes, I'm sure there is, but I mean, it's days of work to implement a new video engine. So I'm, I don't really want to. I don't want to waste another week's work to put another video player engine in there. Um, and I don't think we're going to have some of the same issues with pretty much anything. It's not a problem with VLC. It's a problem with uh, the interface between VLC and WPF. So it's just we got to work on, and VLC is way more popular than anything else out there. So I'm not even sure anything else exists. Any other libraries exist to interface properly with VLC, or I mean, interface properly with WPF. So that's the trick. Yeah, I know. That's another. That's I should put that in my list. See if I can solve that one. Cover flow. I almost forgot about that. I wanted to take a look at that. Cover flow transparency issues. Um, and that applies to the wheel as well. And that one's interesting. I can't figure out the logic behind what on earth is causing that. I've done a little bit of work on that one. That's another one of those uh, horrible bugs that's really hard to figure out. So that's how I just put that on my short list here because that drives me nuts, especially with now that we have the all the new image types. It looks bad with many of them. So what should we tackle next? We're gonna do the random game videos thing because I need something refreshing. Ah. So basically, um, sure, David. Basically, we probably should add a setting for this, or I could just make it for the background videos. No, we should add a setting. Let's go to big box. Now we need LaunchBox data, big box settings. Where are we going to put this? Probably put it in. I need to restructure the settings a little bit because they get kind of confusing the way it is right now. Just basically restructure the categories and where everything goes, which shouldn't be a lot of work, but I'm not going to do that right now. Um, for now, I'm just going to put this under uh, game images. Public bool use random game. No, wait a minute. Not in game images. This is filters. We want game details. No, game menu. Filters images. Data table export. Public bool use random game videos. Get set. And that's going to default to false. That's fine. We don't need to set a default on that. And then in my big box options pages, filters images. I'm just going to copy one of these. It's a checkbox. Excuse me. Label use random game videos for platform videos. Okay. We need to populate that. Use random game videos for platform videos for missing platform videos. In other words, it's going to use the platform video first, but if it doesn't exist, it's going to use random game videos if it's enabled. I actually kind of think that should be the default though too. So let's go ahead and make that the default. Data manager, initialize defaults. Okay. So we have our setting. Now we just have to check what the value is and do it. So when we populate our videos in data view models and then filters view models, platform filters view model base. This happens in selection change timer elapsed. We might have to update this in several places. It's where we get the video path. Oh, cool. We can just do it here. Get platform video path. I'm going to update this. The thing is, this could be called in uh, LaunchBox 2, but it's not right now. Yeah, whatever. Let's default platform video path. So basically, if video path is specified, it's going to return the video path. Get default platform video path. If the path is null, we have to find a random video path for the games. And we would do that by pulling up the, well, first off, if path equals null and program data manager big box settings use random game videos, then what we want to do is David says, with the background video, could we get system description as well? Sure. Seems a bit off to me to have only the banner, favorites, games, and recent games with the background video. Sure. Uh, we might be able to provide an option for that. Um, we'll see. I'm not sure if I want to tackle that right now or not. Uh, use random game videos. So basically we have to get the game video folder equals this dot get videos folder path, and then let's just do this. var files equals directory.get files, this.get videos folder path. Okay, that gets all the files in that platform's videos folder. And then I can just randomly select one. Do I have random in here somewhere? Yeah, platform.random. So I can say return platform. Oh, wait. If files.length equals 0, return null. Return files um, platform.random.next. The max value is uh, files.length. I can't remember if it should be files.length or files.length minus 1. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. So in theory, that'll do it. Let's build it. I need to go into my LaunchBox folders and disable a video for a particular platform. So Nintendo 64, we're going to make this invalid so that we can display random videos for N64. Try that. Okay, we still have that VLC issue because we're on the VLC engine. I'm going to switch that up. That's working, by the way. Okay, random video. Well, I forgot though. One thing that would be nice to do is to make them play one after the other. They're not doing that right now, so that's another thing to do. But at least it's showing the random videos. And of course, these are showing the platform videos. If we go into options and then go into filters images, turn that, oops, there it is. Then it doesn't show anything. Yep, okay. So there's that. One thing done. Yeah, that's something we've definitely had planned for a long time, Grandpa. Basically, what I plan to do is allow you to restrict games to a particular ESRB rating. Um, Obviously, there's more than just ESRB, but so we might want to add some more options in there. But yeah, basically we can restrict games to a particular ESRB rating, and assuming your games have good data for that, then it will restrict Obviously, that's not there yet. That's something we have planned. I think there's a Bitbucket ticket for that. So that's done. Um, we wanted to try and get the videos to play. I wanted to try and get the videos to play one after the other. I didn't think about that. I'm not sure how we're going to do that, really. We could use a playlist, but the playlists aren't working in VLC. I'm going to add an item, random game videos, play one after the other. So that's a to-do item. I have an idea how to implement that, though. Sort of. Right now, in my image video view, this is what, well, this is what does it for Windows Media Player. As far as what's repeating it for VLC, that's a different story. End behavior is end behavior.repeat. That's what's repeating it. So we'd have to, I'm not sure if there's an event for VLC. Of course, VLC comes an issue again, figures. But we could handle it here and then play a different video at that point instead of doing this. Although that has potential to be difficult, run into a bunch of other issues with that for sure. Another thing I'm thinking, right now we have a whole bunch of different views here. This kind of ties into David's question of whether we can get the game details in on this view. Um, Basically, right now I added all these different views, but I'm thinking what we could do instead, excuse me, what we could do instead is basically have an option to put the video in the background and then have the same views. So we would have one less view. That's kind of what I want to do for games, because I want you to be able to put the video in the background for games as well and not have to create a bunch more views. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. We also have an issue with this view where the video gets cut off. I need to look at that. So, but we would still need the option here. Yeah, I don't know. So we need to add options for using background videos for the platforms, and then an option for using background videos um, for the games themselves. I think I'm going to go ahead and start tackling that. I might not finish this up in this call, but or in this stream, but that's okay. No big deal. I can finish this up today. We have we're going to need two more settings. Big box settings. General, where are we going to put this? That's a question. Well, it's going to be for platforms only. And then also for games. Scanline overlay over the full screen videos? Not necessarily. I'm not sure. Yeah, that would be interesting to try. We would need a good. What we would need is a good Scanline PNG um, that I could overlay. Actually, I mean that would be relatively simple to do with a custom view, although of course that's you got to know what you're doing in order to make that happen. But yeah, we could experiment with that. Although I'm probably not going to do that right now. It should be relatively easy to do that, I think. Basically, the easiest way to do it would be to come up with a full screen uh, image that represents PNG transparent image that represents your entire screen, so like 1920 by 1080. Um, make it static, single size, and then put an image into the custom view, and it's that simple. Yeah, I know the videos don't look great because they're expanded, but they're not. To be honest, I mean I've talked to Brad. Brad's gonna see what he can do to build some 1080p videos. I don't know what we're gonna end up with. Obviously, there's problems because the games aren't that high of resolution. So I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do. But we're gonna experiment with that a little bit. I agree the videos don't look that great simply because they're low resolution. Um, so that's something to think about. Definitely interested in ideas as far as what you guys think how we could upscale videos to. I'm not convinced that honestly. I'm not a big fan of the scanline solution. Um, I think there's better solutions out there. And I think the best solution is to create better videos. Yeah, definitely game room. It's not a good solution um, to use one resolution, scan lines, and all that stuff. A better solution would be to loop an image over and over on the screen, something like that, or dynamically generate the image or something like that. I like scan lines if they're done right, but most scanline solutions aren't, and so I don't like them that much usually. All right, let's get back to this. I'm going to rename this platforms. Okay, and then public bool use platforms use background videos. And so we're changing that up. And then in the games, use background videos. So I'm going to actually start tackling the game ones, I think. So for starters, oh, we need to add the big box options in here first. There it is. I'm blind. Strings dot label use background videos. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. K Money. That makes sense. Yeah, I hate the blurry stuff too. So the thing is, if we record 1080p videos for these games, there's obviously it's easy to fix the issue with the blurry bilinear stuff. We can make it so that it actually with 1080p we can make it look proper. Um, and we could even use a decent TV filter or something. Although I would prefer to just make it so that it's got hard edges. Um, and the other thing, the other big issue that we're going to run into, uh, the other issue we're going to go run into is 4 by 3 or yeah 4 by 3 versus 16 by 9 and 16 by 10, etc. So obviously we want to create the 16 by 9 videos. But what do we do about the fact that all the games are 4 by 3? That's the next problem to solve. The next biggest question is Brad's going to be working on these videos. Brad had the idea of putting in side art, but I don't think that's going to look good because it's never going to change, and it's going to be ugly. I have a feeling, you know what I mean? Because the side art's going to stay static, and the video in the center is going to change. I don't think that's going to look good, but I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys have any ideas for that? Okay, and then we have this guy. I should just copy this, save myself the typing. Strings dot label use background videos. Okay, we have our options. I was thinking side art as well with 4 by 3 ratio. That way they won't be stretched. Yeah, the retro stuff doesn't look good stretched. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, side art is the only other thing I can come up with is yeah, EA. It depends on people. A lot of people think it doesn't look bad, but for me, uh, I don't like the I don't like the the distortion of all the game characters and everything else. It drives me nuts. I don't like it. I really don't like the stretching. Yeah, we could try the bezel thing to see how it looks, but my concern is that I mean when we load up Big Box, you're going to have hard lines on the screen at all time. So, for example, let's go to the background view. You're going to have a hard line uh, that overlaps the clear logos there. Underneath the clear logos, you're going to have a hard line where the bezel ends and the video starts on both sides. And I just don't think that's going to look good. I don't. I'm not. I'm not thinking that's going to be attractive. So I don't know. I'm torn. The only other idea I have is to potentially use more than one video at once on the screen. I'm not sure how well it would work, but you could put 4 videos, like 1, 2, 3, 4, in all 4 corners. I'm not sure if that would look good either, though. I'm not sure. I don't know. I do think that that might help K Money make the bezel fade. Yeah, so it's going to take some experimentation. I do think though that even if we did stretch them, if we did it right, it would at least be a big improvement. If we did it in 1080p, you know. Yeah, yeah. Dolphin's great. Rincewind, yeah. I hear you there. We'll have to experiment and see what happens. See what we can do about it. I'm not sure. Obviously, I mean, you got um, some emulators. It's not as much of a problem for, but obviously the old retro like NES and SNES. That's where the major issues are. I don't know how to get past that. I wanted to pull up. I know Circo is actually working on some really cool new platform videos where he does that he kind of makes them 3D and stuff, but I can't remember if they're 16 by 9 or not. He might be already working on some of this stuff. Dolphin is pretty awesome. I agree. Yeah, RetroArch. My favor goes up and down with RetroArch all the time. Some of the stuff I had to deal with recently was just ridiculous. And I mean, you can't blame them because they're trying to do everything under the sun. Thinking the potential release date for 6.3 is my typical response is no promises, uh, but I'm shooting for the end of the week, the end of this week. Oh, MAME, yeah, MAME's incredible. All right, so we have our options. If we go, no promises. When it's done, yes. When it's done. id Software has been using that since the beginning of time too. All the, but yeah, the 3D realms and the whole when it's done thing year after year after year after year after year. They're probably the best example of that. All right, so we're gonna go to the game. Let's start with the game's views, and I switch this up to have this theme views folder here. And so let's just try and tackle one here first. Let's tackle the wheel games view. So we have background transition selector already. So we could just put it in background transition selector instead of the image video transition selector. I think that's probably what we'll do. So I don't have to touch the views. That's great. So if we go into view models, and we want games view models, and we go into wheel games view model, and we go to the place where we're setting our video. What we can do this is basically everything we need to override right here, the same code that we've been dealing with. We can leave image video view model. Oh wait, if we go, I'm not sure here. Is background, if where's the background stuff? What's that binding to? That's binding to, in our view, wheel games view. This is binding to background view, of course. And I think background view is elsewhere. That's in a parent class. And we're inheriting from games view model base, background view. Now the background view is, I see. So use that background path. We're going to have to change this up, obviously. This is where it gets tricky. At least it did get done. Still waiting for Half-Life 3. Yep. Who's reviewing the image database submissions and how long does it usually take? Uh, the community, the entire community reviews them. We have a series of moderators, and I haven't checked up on how big the queue is lately. I know it fluctuates. We get lots of help from the community, but sometimes it does take a little bit. Yeah, yeah, it is nice to get at least bits and pieces from game development companies. I don't like keeping quiet on anything. Obviously, it takes it. It's just irritating to keep quiet on everything all the time. Almost 2 weeks. Oh, not good. Well, I need to check up on that then, and maybe we need to figure out how to push those on through a little bit quicker. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Apparently, moderations are people are no longer as interested in as they were before with moderation is what that means. So I need to figure out how to encourage some moderation ultimately. Hmm. Okay, background view model. So ultimately, this is going to have to change, and we're going to have to change this because this is going to be basically everywhere. The background view model. Background path. Let's take a look at our models. We have image video view model, which is property change base. So they just need to be property change base. If I take a look at background path, This is going to be deleted, I think. Sure, that's simple enough. There we go. And we're actually going to delete background path, because that's all going to change. And the view, if this dot background view model equals null, we're going to return null. Otherwise, locate from model this dot background view model. What are these other arguments? Dependency objects. That should do it. Okay, and then we have some errors to resolve here. So Isolac, maybe we've just been spoiled with supporting things like LaunchBox and Grim Dawn projects where you can get updates every week, but then again, it's more indie. No worries, David. Good to know though. Still, 9 days is not really very acceptable, in my opinion. We wanna do something about that. So, and the uh, I definitely when I created all that stuff, I definitely leaned more towards over moderation than under moderation. So right now everything has to be approved by 3 different people. So the number of approvals have to be 3 greater than the number of rejections. Um, so it's pretty hardcore right now. It takes 3 different people to get on and approve that particular change before it goes through. So we could there's plenty of things to adjust potentially there. I think a better thing would be we need to provide some sort of um, uh, benefit to moderating. I'm not quite sure what we should do there yet, but that's ultimately what we need. We need just to encourage more people to moderate. What we did, we had it going really well for a while because we had a contest going on to give away some free premium licenses. So maybe we should just have ongoing contests uh, for free premium licenses going on. That's probably what we should do. Um, so that's a good idea. By the way, guys, I am just so you know, I'm actually hiring somebody on top of Brad to do a lot more free biscuits. Awesome, Juzzo. So all you got to do is get on the games database and make some submissions. All you got to do is make some submissions and get them moderated. And uh, once and it should be pretty quick. It doesn't take long to get moderator status. Uh, in your user in your profile, there's a moderation tab or something like that. But it's you have to have submitted changes and they have to have been approved before you're allowed to moderate. And it's something like 25 approved changes. But if you add a new game, you can knock them out really quick. I mean, it's like you add two or three new games and you're good to go. They have to be moderated in order for you to be approved as a moderator. So that's the trick. We got to get this stuff moderated. I can hop on Brad to see if he can spend some time moderating to help, and maybe I can spend some time moderating to get these things pushed through. But ultimately, It's a matter of encouraging the community to moderate. That's what we ultimately need to do. Thanks, Jezzo. Yeah, it may be that your changes are just still in the moderation queue. You can check up on the changes status. Okay. Oh, I was talking about I'm actually hiring somebody to come on, and she's awesome. She's a gamer. She's been a friend of mine for a long time, and the reason why I'm hiring her in particular is because she's very very good socially. She's great at customer service, and so something like that, contests and stuff, I can hand off to her to manage the stuff. Um, so hopefully we can be improving that stuff very soon. She's she's I'm hoping to get her started actually today or tomorrow on some of this work. So uh, going forward, we plan to transition some of the like Bitbucket tickets and maybe some of the forum support to her. Um, so Brad is freer to work on stuff like platform videos. So that's what I would like to do direction wise going forward. I'd like to um, move Brad over to video production, video editing. So he's doing more of that and less stuff like customer service. Because Brad's strength is obviously videos. He does an excellent job with the videos. Um, and uh, her name's Kirsten, the girl I'm bringing on board. Her strength is definitely very much customer service. So we want to get her on as much customer service and then also some marketing as much as possible. So that's a surprise that has dropped. Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited because I think our biggest area, a lacking area right now is customer service because Brad and I both are so swamped, and so I'm really excited to get somebody devoted to that coming on board because she's excellent at it and she'll do a really great job. So that'll be awesome. So here we go. Instead of setting the background path directly, we should, what we need to do instead, I'm going to say if, yeah, if program.datamanager.bigboxsettings.use background videos. This is games. Games use background videos. Then we want to do, if not, then we want to populate this. And this is going to change. This is going to be this dot background view model equals new background view model string image path. Really? Okay. Let's go to that definition. That's fine. That's easy enough. Okay. And then when we get down to here, what's this error down here? Oh, we might want to move that. I'm thinking actually. Let's move this. Because that's where it's actually notifying of the update. And coming back here, if program.datamanager.bigboxsettings Big box settings. Use game game games use background videos. Actually, we want to leave that if it's not. Else. Okay, I want to do something else here. And this should be moved to here. Well, thanks, K Money. I appreciate that. We do decent customer service, but uh, for example, I mean, we put a lot of effort into customer service because I know how important that is. We really do. We do a lot, and because compared to, look at Hyperspin, look at Hyperspin's customer service. What customer service? They have no customer service. There's the community. That's about it. So we're not. It's not hard to compete with nothing. But at the same time, my inbox is constantly overflowing with emails from people, and there's a number of common requests. Can I pay with PayPal? I get at least a couple of those every single day, um, and you guys know about the whole PayPal fiasco. But so there, I can't. I just straight up can't respond to everybody. So ultimately, there are lots of things that are going to be solved by people or by bringing Kirsten on to take care of this stuff, because there's a lot more work to do than is getting done right now. And I'm sure some of those people, that I haven't been able to respond to, if uh, I did take the time to was able to take the time to respond to them, I'm sure we could make them happy, and it would probably end up with a purchase. So it's important to really come through on pretty much everything. And right now we're not quite coming through on everything. Um, Pretty much, I mean, Brad does a great job on the forums. We had the Bitbucket tickets that we're doing a decent job with. It's just there's so many avenues for things to come in. You got Facebook, you got Twitter, you got emails, you got YouTube, you got um, the forums, you got Bitbucket. That is six places that we're accepting feedback right now. Six different places, and you have to. Unfortunately, we can't tell people on Facebook, "Hey, don't comment here on Facebook," because we're not going to check it. And you can't go to YouTube and say, "Hey, don't give us YouTube comments. Go to our site," because you have to take it in all those six different places. And so going through and taking feedback, as much as I want to take feedback from everything, you guys know that I know the only way we've been successful, or the only way we've been as successful as we have been, is because we're taking all this feedback. So feedback is incredibly important to me. But having the six different avenues for it to come in, if I uh, was able to check up on all of those, uh, I mean, I would have to, and I do. I spend a lot of time every single day right now checking all the avenues and getting back on all the feedback. But I'm really looking forward to basically having that be Kirsten's full-time job, or not full-time job, but her job, so that she can provide the best possible customer service. And she's going to work very closely with me, especially when she first gets started, so that basically all the answers are ultimately coming from me. But she's even better at being nice to people, especially people that are angry and stuff, than I am. So I'm really I'm looking forward to that. I am going to be pushing some of obviously the live development streams are never going to change. It's always going to be me. Um, but I am going to be pushing some of the responses and stuff off to Kirsten, which should free me up to do more development. So that's exciting. Oh boy, we've gotten in so much trouble talking about negative things about the hyperspin community. I have to say I haven't had much trouble with the hyperspin community, uh, but I know we get a lot of that feedback from people saying, "Oh, the hyperspin community is toxic." Yeah, that's been a fairly common. I don't know where it all comes from, but that's been a fairly common complaint. But frankly, I mean, I've enjoyed working with the hyperspin community lately. Maybe it's just that people on the threads I've been on have been nice, but it's been good. Anyways, games use background videos. So instead of basically, we're going to be doing the same thing. We're just going to be putting it in a different object. Is ultimately what we're doing here. So I'm going to copy this and um, background view model. Background view model. Ah, sure. Let's say this dot. No, let's say var video view model equals this dot background view model as image video view model. If video view model is not equal to null, then video view model, that video path equals null. And then if not active, this dot background view model, and then we have to cast this image video view model and same thing here and here. There actually probably is a better way to do this, come to think of it. We do all this stuff and then assign it. But I'm going to test this here first. But we're probably not going to build yet because of the changes we've made. Okay. Oh, this is the cover flow, so we're not doing anything special. Instead of this, well, should we have background videos for the cover flow? We probably should, come to think of it. What else do we got? That's going to be tricky. This is cover flow with details. And cover flow with details. And then the wheel. Let's do the wheel here. Some of this stuff can be copied out of what we've already built. Um, Games view model base. We've got this guy. I do that. Actually, let's fix that everywhere here first. Make it easier. Okay. Same thing here. Put it down here. And there's one more, I think. Nope, that's it. All right, so in theory, I think the default is false for using background videos. So let's go into Nintendo 64, and things are still working here. That's good. Try the other views. We still have a background. We don't have, well, I don't know why the background wasn't showing up. That's something we need to look into. On the first one, the background wasn't showing up. That's fine. That's fine. Well, let's back out and let's go into our options. And go into filters, images, use background videos. I need to change that to say use platform background videos, actually. Or no. Darn it, that was the wrong one. We need to go into games images, use background videos. Because that's what we've been working on. If we go into N64, yeah, there we go. Although, it's not full screen for whatever reason. It's using Windows Media Player. It's also doing the double load thing. Oh, I know exactly why. I know how to fix that, actually. It's fairly easy. It's in the view. In my all the games views, actually. I need to say oh, no, come on. List view, image video. Is content video equals true is what I need. In these views. And that'll solve those two issues, I think. We got to do that for all of them. If I go up all the games views, cover flow games view. Whoops. Cover flow with details games view. Game details. Text games view. Text list, no. Wheel games view, last one. All right, let's build. It's still not full screen, but it's not looping the videos. Full screen issue should be relatively easily solved. Just imitate what I'm doing elsewhere. That's not working there because I still have code to work on. Same with that and that. That is working. Although again, it's not full screen. Still got it. Yeah. Okay. I think I know. Let's take a look. Figure out why it's not full screen. For the backgrounds, I wonder if it's this. Let's see if that's elsewhere. The text games view. Yes, it is. It's already there. Hmm. Oh, I know why. I know exactly why. Because we're not telling it to be full screen in the. So in the image video view, we have to call this stretch video, and we're not doing that. Um, if we go into, yeah, tricky, tricky, tricky. So in our view models, games view model base, where we set our view, what we can do when we set our background view, if var image video view equals view as image video view, if image video view is not equal to null, then image video view dot stretch video equals true. And that'll happen everywhere automatically, which is nice. Let's see what happens. Switch up to view, to one that works. There it is. All right. Nice. And so basically, if you have that setting checked, your games views will use background videos and just not show a video. We have to finish the other views, though. Make it work for the rest of them. Well, that's good. That's exciting. We got something done today. Thank goodness. Let's see if we can quickly get one of these other ones going. The wheel games view. Let's see if we can get this working. Wheel games view model. Games view model base. Elapsed basically copying this whole section here. It's probably going to be the same. Should probably. Yeah, I'm streaming, Eva. I'll be done soon. Give me a few minutes. So wheel games view model. We're going to basically replace this. See if that works. There's our wheels, and there's our background. Very nice. I think I do prefer that. What do you guys think? Do you like the background videos more than having the video on the screen? That's pretty great. Cool. Juzzo Tech, yes, there's a chance, but it's a major job, so great to hear, guys. Thanks, Game Room, Rinswind. Yeah, there's a chance, but it's a huge job, so it's not something that's going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately. Although, yeah, I love the Raspberry Pi. I would love to make it happen. It's just uh, for some of the stuff we're doing, especially in big box, there's no way the Raspberry Pi is going to be powerful enough to handle it. But especially with the animations and stuff. But you know, um, it's possible that I could build a reduced version. Awesome, Rain Stumble. Thanks. Great to hear. All right. Yeah, I'm still torn to a certain extent. Blue Arrow. I think once we get better videos going, I think it'll be perfect. But there's no way we're going to be able to build better videos for all the game videos. That's just not going to happen. So unfortunately, it'd be nice, but nah. Emu Movies has put in years and years of work into all these videos. Great to hear, guys. Okay, so I think I'm going to end the stream. I've got a little bit of work to do to wrap that stuff up. Obviously, I've got to hit up the platform videos as well to make them behave the same. Hopefully, I think K Money's the guy who was asking about the details. I'm going to try and see if I can get that done as well. Um, and I should have a beta out later today. So thanks, guys. I'm glad we at least got somewhere towards the end of the stream here. Really, really irritating earlier. So, anyways, I will talk to you guys soon. Take it easy. Thanks much.